You have laughed alone before. At something on your phone. At a memory that surfaced unexpectedly. At something absurd you noticed while walking. And you probably barely registered it. But for most of human history, laughing alone was not just unusual. It was almost meaningless. Not because ancient humans lacked humor, but because laughter was never designed to be a private experience. It was designed to be heard. This is the story of what laughter actually is, where it comes from, and why the loneliest version of it is the one you do by yourself. Let us start with something most people do not know about the neuroscience of laughter. Laughter is not a response to humor. Humor is a trigger for laughter, but it is not the whole story. Laughter is fundamentally a social signal. Researchers studying laughter across cultures found that people are approximately 30 times more likely to laugh when they are with other people than when they are alone. 30 times. The same joke that makes you smile faintly by yourself makes you laugh out loud in a group. The same absurd observation that produces a quiet internal amusement alone produces genuine audible laughter with others present. The presence of other people does not change what is funny. It changes what laughter does. And laughter, it turns out, does something very specific. It builds trust, not metaphorically, not as a side effect, as its primary evolved function. This is the framework that evolutionary psychologists have built around laughter over the last several decades. Laughter is an honest signal. It is very difficult to fake convincingly. You can fake a smile. You can produce a social laugh, the polite acknowledgement laugh, the laugh you offer when you have not actually found something funny but want to appear engaged. But a genuine laugh, the involuntary explosive response to something that has actually landed, is hard to manufacture on demand. It involves the face, the breath, the body, the voice, all operating simultaneously in ways that are not fully under voluntary control. And because it is hard to fake, it is trusted. When you laugh genuinely at something someone said or did, you are giving them real information. You are telling them that something they produced had a genuine effect on you, that you are responsive to them specifically, that your guard is down enough to allow the involuntary response. In a world of 30 to 50 people who depend on each other for survival, this information was valuable. Now think about what ancient humans were using laughter for. They were using it to read each other. Who can make this person laugh genuinely? Who responds to whom? Who makes others relax when tension builds? Who brings lightness to the group when it is needed? These observations, made across years of shared daily life, built a precise social map. And that map determined how trust was distributed within the group. But laughter was not only a signal between two people. It was a group event. When a joke landed in a group and the whole group laughed together, something happened that was qualitatively different from any individual exchange. The shared physical experience of laughter, synchronized breathing, identical facial expressions, the same involuntary response at the same moment, created a momentary physiological alignment between every person present. Researchers studying group laughter found that it is associated with oxytocin release, the same neurochemical that bonds parents to children, that strengthens romantic attachment, that deepens friendships over time. A burst of shared laughter was a burst of shared neurochemistry, and it did something to the group that individual conversation could not do as efficiently. It made them feel like one thing rather than separate things. This matters enormously for understanding ancient social life. Small groups, under constant pressure from the environment, from predators, from rival groups, from internal conflict, needed mechanisms to repair frictions and rebuild cohesion. Conflict was inevitable. Disagreement was inevitable. The daily friction of living in close quarters with the same people forever was inevitable. Laughter was one of the primary repair mechanisms available. A group that could laugh together after tension had built was a group that could return to cooperation faster. The levity was not separate from survival. It was part of it. Anthropologists studying laughter in surviving hunter-gatherer communities found specific patterns. Laughter was most frequent around the fire in the evenings, the time when the day's work was done and the group was together. The content of what made people laugh was remarkably consistent across different cultures. Social observation, the gentle highlighting of someone's mistake or exaggeration, absurdity in the rules and behaviors the group itself had created. This type of humor has a specific social function that goes beyond entertainment. It is a mechanism for leveling, the same social pressure that prevented any one person from becoming too dominant. The leveling behavior was maintained partly through laughter. When someone acted with excessive pride or self-importance, the group laughed, not cruelly, not to destroy, but to remind. You are one of us. None of us are above being ridiculous. And the capacity to laugh at yourself when the group laughed at you was a critical social skill. It signaled that you accepted your place in the collective, that you were not so fragile that the observation could not be made, that you understood the joke was not hostile but was a form of inclusion. Refusing to laugh, becoming defensive, treating the group's laughter as an attack, was the socially dangerous response, because it positioned you as someone who valued your own dignity above the group's cohesion. And in a world where cohesion was survival, that positioning had consequences. The person who could not laugh at themselves was, in the ancient social calculus, slightly less trustworthy than the person who could. But there is another dimension to ancient laughter that most people miss entirely. Laughter is risk assessment. In the ancient world, before you could trust someone with your back on a hunt, before you shared a shelter with them, before you let them hold your child, you had to read them. And laughter was one of the primary reading tools available. Someone laughed, told you things about them. Who makes this person laugh tells you what they value. Whether they can laugh at themselves tells you how defensive they are. Whether they laugh at the group's jokes or try to redirect attention tells you how much they want to belong versus how much they want to lead. Whether their laughter is genuine or performed tells you how honest they are in general. Whether they laugh at the vulnerable or only at themselves and the powerful tells you about their character. All of this information was available, read continuously, updated in real time, across years of shared life, and it built a picture of each person that was more complete and more honest than almost anything they could have said about themselves. You cannot lie with your genuine laughter for long. You can control your words. You can control your expressions up to a point. But what makes you involuntarily laugh, in the unguarded moments around the fire, in the genuine responses that slip out before you can manage them, tells the group who you actually are. This is why laughter alone meant almost nothing. Not because it was not real, but because it accomplished nothing of what laughter was built to do. Alone, there is no social map being built, no trust being signaled, no oxytocin burst linking you to others, no leveling being performed, no character being assessed, no cohesion being repaired. The laugh that happens alone is the full neurological response without the social function it was designed to serve. It is a signal sent with no receiver. Now think about what has changed. Modern humans laugh alone at screens all the time. Comedy that was written to be performed to audiences. Humor that evolved in a social context. Content designed to produce the laughter response. And we consume it in isolation. Alone in rooms. Headphones on. The laugh coming out, quiet or loud, the genuine response happening. And the signal going nowhere. There is nothing wrong with this. But there is something worth understanding about it. The laughter you produce alone is the body doing what it was designed to do, and then finding no one to do it with. The neurochemistry activating without the social reinforcement it was built to create. For many people who laugh a lot alone at content, and who also report feeling lonely, this is part of what is happening. The laughter mechanism is being triggered, but it is not being completed. Because completion requires another person. It requires the shared response, simultaneous recognition. The moment when two or more people are in the same physiological state at the same time, because of the same thing. That moment is what ancient humans were building around the fire. Not just entertainment, not just fun. A physiological bond, renewed every evening, maintained through the dark. The thing that made 30 separate people feel like one group capable of surviving together. So the next time you laugh genuinely with someone, not at them, not politely, genuinely, pay attention to what happens in the room. The tension that dissolves, the guard that drops, suddenlies that did not exist a moment before. You are not just sharing a moment. You're doing something ancient humans did around every fire for hundreds of thousands of years. You are binding the group. Drop a comment and tell me the last thing that made you genuinely laugh. And make sure you are subscribed, because next time we are going somewhere even stranger than this.